Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 3rd April today, and in this video we are going to solve some important questions which are very much relevant for your preparation. Before going to our discussion, before solving these questions, I would like to give the brief introduction about our initiative, so that if you are new to our channel you will get more connected with us. Basically in this video we will discuss three types of questions, and these questions would be taken from three different sources. So depending on it, the first set of questions which we are going to discuss here would be taken from the current affairs. In it, what we will do, we will take up the most important articles from the newspapers and we will discuss them, and finally we will derive some prelims based questions from those particular articles, so that it will give you the idea which part of the newspaper is important for you, what should be your approach when you are reading these news articles, and how you can expect a possible prelims question related to these articles. After solving questions with respect to current affairs, we will shift our approach to the another part where we will discuss questions from the static portion. As you know, currently we are discussing Indian polity, and you also know that in Indian polity we are discussing the Parliament of India, and in Parliament of India we had discussed we are discussing Lok Sabha. So today we are going to discuss few more concepts related to Lok Sabha, and we'll try to derive the possible prelims questions related to those concepts, so that it will give you the idea how exactly a question can be asked in the exam, and it will help you prepare well before the exam. After solving questions with respect to current affairs and the static part, we will shift our approach to the last part of our discussion where we will solve a previous year question. To me this is the most important part, because in here we will learn what is the vocabulary used by UPSC, what are the different trends they try to follow for framing your questions, and at the same time we'll try to understand what can be the different methods which we can implement in the exam to solve the questions of which we don't have the proper knowledge, and also we will try to understand how we can implement this information in the upcoming exam. So this is in a nutshell what we are going to do in this video. Now, before we start our discussion, I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel, do share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative, and please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you guys. With this, without any wastage of time, let's try to solve the questions here. As you can see here on the screen, the question is basically about the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025, which was passed by the Lok Sabha. So with respect to this bill, we have brought this question here. Before we will discuss the major few key provisions of the bill, before we will go to the context of the question, it is preferable for us to solve the question here first, establish the answer of this question, then we will shift towards the context part. Let's solve the question first here. The question says, with reference to the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025 recently passed by the Lok Sabha, consider the following statement. First statement, the bill aims to enhance transparency and efficiency in the management of Waqf properties through a centralized digital portal. Nothing wrong with the statement, that is true. Second statement, it mandates the inclusion of at least 2 non-Muslim members in the Central Waqf Council and Waqf boards. That's also true, and that is one of the point of criticism towards this bill. And definitely this bill will go to courts, will decide over whether it is constitutional or unconstitutional, because there are various concerns with respect to the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025. Third statement, the bill abolishes the Waqf Act of 1995 entirely and replaces it with a new legal framework. No, it does not abolish the Waqf Act of 1995 entirely. It just amends few key provisions of it. So third statement is incorrect. So with this, I hope you had understood the question here. With respect to this question, I hope you had understood it, and we can come to the correct answer. What would be the correct answer? Correct answer would be statement 1 and statement 2. They are the correct options, and suppose it is the option A, so the correct option would be option A. With this, I hope you had understood question now. Now let's move to the context part. Let's try to understand few important provisions of the bill. What is the criticism? What does the government say why they brought this bill? And let's understand what this Waqf actually is about. If you know about Muslim community, or Muslims, or we can say religion of Islam, there are few important points which I believe everybody should know. That is the Islam religion itself it is Islam as a religion. It falls. It depends upon five main pillars. There are five pillars of Islam that everybody should know. Five pillars of Islam, and every Muslim has to believe, at least believe in these five pillars. Then only a person is a Muslim. Then only a person is Muslim. And these five pillars are like: first one is Shahada, second one is Salah, that is prayer, daily prayers. As you would have heard, every Muslim has to pray 5 times a day, so it is Salah. Second, third, it is fasting, that Muslims have to fast during the month of Ramadan. So you would have heard that recently Muslims were fasting during these days. So this is the third pillar of Islam. Fourth pillar, it would be Zakat. It is the charity which they have to pay. And what is the amount payable under Zakat? It is 2.5% of their annual wealth. 2.5% of the annual wealth is paid as Zakat. And the fourth is Hajj. So these are the five pillars of Islam. So here, as our point of discussion is with respect to Zakat, with respect to Waqf. So this Zakat is paid to whom? It is paid to the poor people. And who pay this zakat? This zakat is only paid by the wealthy people who have enough money to feed their family and also to give away to the others. They have to pay the zakat. There are certain laws which Muslims follow, under which they decide who are the people who can pay the zakat. So in nutshell, what is this zakat? It is the amount of money, or we can say amount of land, or we can say in gold. It is paid to poor. It is given to the poor for their welfare, for their well-being, for feeding them, or for educating them, whatever reason would be, for the charitable reasons. So this zakat, it can be, now with respect to this zakat, it can be paid directly to the poor, or it can be granted for the godly purposes, or we can say it is given on the name of the god. And this, whether it is property or it is wealth, it becomes, when it is given on the name of the god, then only there would be the people who will manage this property. Then when it is given on the name of the god, it becomes the waqf. What it becomes the waqf. That is, that person is giving it to the god. Now god will decide what will happen with this property. And with respect to this waqf property, it is managed by the waqf board. It is managed by the mutawakkil. It is managed by the mutawakkil. These are the people who manage this waqf property. So here the question is, with this amendment bill, it is with respect to the management of this waqf property. With respect to the waqf property in India, according to the various reports, India has the highest amount of waqf property in the world. India has the highest amount of waqf property in the world. And according to the Searcher Committee report, it is established that, under this Searcher Committee report, it is established that India has, in 2006, India had 1.2 lakh crore worth of the waqf property. India had 1.2 lakh crore 1.2 lakh crore worth of the waqf property in 2006. So there is huge potential to it. But this is how much property it has. The land which comes under the waqf board, it is believed that it is as big as it can adjust 30. It is bigger than the 30, not adjust. It is bigger than the 30 sovereign nations, and those nations were given. For example, Morocco was there, and other such countries were there. So that is not important to you. What are the countries it is bigger than? That is not important to you. But understand how much property it is, how much bigger property it is. So what is the issue? What were the issues highlighted by the government with respect to the waqf board in India, and why the government went for this waqf amendment bill? So there were various issues. First issue which was highlighted. So first let me rub this here so that we can here is eraser, so that we can establish much more space to write in. So let's come to the issues with the waqf board here. What were the issues highlighted by the government? First one, as we understood through the Searcher report also, and through various reports, how much the property is, we understood how much it is. But this property, it has been it is unrealized revenue. The potential of this property was too high, but it was not realized. This potential was never realized. So why? What is the reason? Because there are the cases of corruption could be there. The people who are managing it, they are in a way, they are very much corrupt. They are taking this benefit for themselves, and they are not providing it to the people for whom it was granted. So first issue is with respect to the what? First issue is with respect to the corruption. There might be there is corruption. Second issue which was highlighted is poor management is there. There is poor management. That is also one of the issue why they needed to amend it. Third, there is huge encroachment in the work properties and encroachment. And also with respect to Waqf tribunals, there are various cases pending in there. So cutting it short, these were few issues which were highlighted by the government. That's why they brought in the Waqf Amendment Bill 2025. So with respect to this, basically it's Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 when this amendment was introduced. So coming to this, what are the let's see what were coming directly to the amendment bill now here, as it amended Waqf Amendment Act of 1995. So let's see what are the key provisions of it, what are a few key amendments under this. First amendment which has been brought in here is that, for example, if you want to donate under the Waqf board, you have to prove that first you are Muslim from last 5 years. And also you are first you have to prove that if you want to Waqf your property, you have to prove that you are practicing Islam from last 5 years. From last 5 years you are practicing Islam, you have to prove that, then only you can provide your land or your property to the Waqf board. So the reason for that is to prevent the misuse. Another amendment which has been brought in under this is, for example, another important amendment which has been brought under the Amendment Bill 2024 is that, suppose if you are a person and you have a girl child, and you had not given you had not given the inheritance right of the girl, which is the inheritance right of the girl. You had not given that property to the girl child, but instead of that you are giving to the Waqf. That will not be accepted. You have to prove that if you have girl child, you had given the inheritance to her, then only you can provide you can provide the Waqf to the Waqf board. Third thing which has been established under the surveys which has been done under the Waqf board, it used to be done by the survey commissioner. Now it would be done by the district collector. Earlier it used to be done by the survey commissioner. Now it would be done by the district collector. And the fourth thing, fourth thing which has been amended, if it is the government land and it was granted to the Waqf, then it won't be, for example, if it is the government land, it was granted to the Waqf, now it won't be the if it is a government land, it won't be Waqf anymore. If it is government land and it was granted to the Waqf, now it won't be the Waqf anymore. These are few amendments, and with that, two non-Muslim members were added in the Central Waqf Council and Waqf Board, and also about the transparency and efficiency in the management of Waqf. The properties would be, it has been centralized, and there would be this digital portal where it would be, uploaded, we can say. So these were few amendments which had been brought in the Waqf Amendment Act of 1995. And there are few amendments which had raised the concerns. For example, amendment with respect to introducing two non-Muslim members in the Waqf Council that has raised the eyebrows. And also There are various, it is not only the Waqf board, there are various such boards for other religions too. For example, there is there is Sikh Gurdwara Act 1925, under which there is least intervention from the different religions. It is only kept for the Sikhs, but it raises the question why there is, in a way we can say the people who are criticizing the bill, they believe that this Waqf Amendment Bill 2024, it is in a way, the majority is trying to interfere with the land of the Muslims. They are trying to interfere with the religion of the Islam here. They are trying to interfere with the laws of the Islam. So that is against the secular nature of our country, and it is against the Article 25. It is against Article 26, and also it violates, this amendment violates Article 16 too. So with respect to this question, I hope you had this much discussion is enough. I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question. There will be so many articles coming in upcoming days with respect to this. We'll definitely discuss those points also. So far, this much is enough for you. I hope you had understood it. Now let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Well, here the question is about the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Why it is in the news? Basically, whenever any petition for the disqualification goes to the speaker, the usually speaker, if speaker is usually from the governing political party, from the political party in the rule, we can say. So speaker is from that particular party. So if it is from the opposition, if disqualification is against opposition, what usually speaker does, there is definitely bias from his side. He will definitely he will take up the petition and he will decide it within very limited time. But if the disqualification is against his own political party member, then what he will do, he will just sit on it and will not decide over it. So with respect to this, the Supreme Court, the question was many times raised with respect to the courts, they should intervene in it, but Supreme Court had tried to stay away from it, because according to Supreme Court, once this speaker will give his decision about their disqualification, then only they can review it. But as in these cases the Supreme Court is just staying on it, then it is in a way their hands are tied. They are not, they cannot intervene in such situations. But with respect to this, we had seen such some cases. A case with respect to the Manipur, when the Supreme Court intervened and the Supreme Court directly said that there was a particular person who became the minister, who did the defection, he became the minister. When the Supreme Court said that particular person is no more minister, by invoking Article 144 of the Indian Constitution, under Article 142, sorry, a Supreme Court can do anything can do anything to give, to provide the proper justice under Article 142. So this was invoked in the Manipur case, and with respect to the defection, with respect to when the case of defection was with the speaker, and speaker just stayed, he was not responding to it, it just stayed on the appeal, on the petition. So Supreme Court intervened and said that particular person is no more minister. So with respect to this, again the Supreme Court is discussing this, that this quietness of the speaker, this indecisive nature of the speaker with respect to the 10th, with respect to the pleas or defection, it is not something which it should be like that. Maybe Supreme Court may intervene again, and under by invoking Article 142, Supreme Court may intervene again, and it may give us the time limit under which the Supreme Court, the speaker has to decide over the cases related to disqualification. So with this much is the context of the question. Now let's solve the question here. The question says, consider the following statements regarding the role of the speaker in the matters of disqualification under the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution. First statement, the speaker's decision in disqualification matters is beyond judicial review. No, it used to be beyond judicial review, but after 1992 judgment of the Supreme Court, it is very much under the judicial review. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, the 10th schedule prescribes a specific time limit within which the Supreme Court must decide on the disqualification petition. No, it does not provide a time limit, specific time limit, and that is what the speakers usually that's what gives them the benefit that they overstay on particular cases, and for few cases they solve them within few days. So that is the reason for second statement is incorrect. Third statement, the Supreme Court has expressed concerns regarding the delays in the Supreme Speaker making decisions regarding disqualification under the 10th schedule. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statement would be statement B only, that 3 only, and the correct option would be option B. With this, I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question. Now let's move to the another slide and try to solve the question. Well, here the question is again about the Kachativo Island. Why we had brought this question? Because Tamil Nadu government, they had adopted a resolution on the retrieval of the Kachativo Island. So let's try to understand few important points with respect to Kachativo Island through this question. First statement, Kachativo Island is located in the Palk Strait between India and Sri Lanka. Correct. The island was ceded to Sri Lanka by India through a series of agreements in the 1970s. 100% correct, in 1972 and 74. This is also true. Third, the St. Anthony's Church located on Kachativo is a site of religious significance primarily for Sri Lankan devotees. No, it is available for both, for the Indian devotees as well as the Sri Lankan devotees. So third statement with respect to this question becomes a bit extreme, so it becomes incorrect. So with respect to this question, the correct answers are answer statement 1 and statement 2 only. So with this, I hope you had understood the question here. Now let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Well, here the question is about the Siliguri corridor. Let's see what does the question say. The question says the Siliguri corridor, often referred as the chicken's neck, is strategically significant geographical feature of India. Consider the following statements regarding this corridor. It is a narrow strip of land located entirely within the state of Assam. No, in the West Bengal is the correct option there. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, it is bordered by Nepal to the north and Bangladesh to the south. That is true, and that's why it is in news, because the Bangladesh president right now, who is Mr. Yunus, he has made a controversial statement with respect to this region. He has invited China to intervene in this region and to develop it in a way. But we know that how much strategically it is important for India. So this controversial statement made by the Yunus is not well respected, is not well supported, did not go well with the Indian politicians, did not go well with the Indian, with Indians itself. So that's why it is in news. So second statement, it is correct. Third statement, its strategic importance is primarily due to its role as the sole land connection between mainland India and the northeastern states. That is true. Fourth statement, increased infrastructural development in the corridor aims to reduce its vulnerability to potential disruptions. Fourth statement says increased infrastructural development in the corridor aims to reduce its vulnerability to potential disruptions. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 2, statement 3 and statement 4, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option D. With this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we have brought there. Well, here the question is about the 3-language formula in India, which is under the debate for many reasons. First, the major reason is as Tamil Nadu is not accepting the National Education Policy 2020, because it in a way goes for the 3-language policy, and they believe that the center is imposing Hindi on them. But here we need to understand, does this 3-language policy mean that the South Indian states have to go for the Hindi language? So that we will understand through this question. The question says, consider the following statements regarding the 3-language formula in India. First statement, the 3-language formula mandates that all states must include Hindi as one of the 3 languages taught in schools. This is totally incorrect. It is not mandated, for South Indian states. As the center says, go for the 3-language policy. You can choose any South Indian state language there, but center is saying that it is not that Hindi is mandated. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, National Education Policy 2020 has retained the 3-language formula, but with greater flexibility, allowing states to choose the language. That is true. That's exactly true. Third statement, The three language formula aims to promote linguistic diversity and national integration by encouraging the learning of multiple languages. 100% true. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 2 and statement 3 only. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option B. With this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Well, here the question is from the static portion, and the question is about the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. As I told you, currently we are discussing the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, and today's discussion would have been who is the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha, and we know it is this Speaker. So Speaker, to which political party does he belong? He belongs to the party in power. Party in power. He belongs to the party in power. So Speaker belongs to that political party who had formed the government. He does not belong to opposition. So here I would like to mention that is it something written in the constitution? No, it is not something like that. It is followed by the convention. So let's solve the question here. Let's try to understand more about Speaker. The question says, consider the following statements regarding the powers and functions of Speaker of the Lok Sabha. First statement, the Speaker has the power to certify a money bill. 100% correct. We had discussed this from last few classes. It is 100% true. Second statement, the Speaker casts the deciding vote only in the events of a tie. That is also true. Third statement, the Speaker can summon a joint sitting of both houses of the parliament. No, he chairs the joint sitting of the both houses of the parliament, but he does not summon it. Who summons it? It is the president who summons it. So third statement is incorrect. Fourth statement, the Speaker's decision on matters of disqualification under 10th schedule is subjected to judicial review. 100% correct. That is exactly what we discussed a few questions back. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 4, and from the code given below, the correct code would be option C. With this, let's move to the last question of our discussion, which is from the previous year question book, and let's see what question we had brought there. Well, here the question says, which of the following countries of Southwest Asia does not open out to the Mediterranean Sea? Does Syria open out? 100% yes. Lebanon, yes. Israel, yes. Jordan, no, it does not open to the Mediterranean Sea. So with respect to this question, the correct answer would be option B, that is Jordan. With this, we had completed our today's discussion. I hope you would have liked the video. I hope you would share it with your friends, and I definitely hope you would subscribe the channel. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.